All these our wayo politicians then, once they begin to the contest, now so they go to get sweet mouths, then go to put sugar for the mouth, they go even still they add honey they put for the mouth. Say they go do this one, they go do that one, they go do that one. But once they don't enter that seat, once they don't sit down for that chair, then go come begin to they turn their back against people when it be say he even carry them put for that seat. Okay, my people, more gonna just look this Lagos state governor when it be say if he come out come talk say that massacre when it be say it happened for on the 20th of October 2020, say no person gets RIP. My people, this same man now, he don't still come out as CNN don't begin to the interview and now, he don't come out come talk say now 2 people now get RIP for the massacre when it be say it happened for Lekki toll gate. My people, like wait all these politicians, how they reason us as my people, waiting even they like they surprise me for the matter now be say okay, as this oyibo pepper when he be so now they look for year as in they interview this governor of Lagos state for CNN. Now so the man they shake for mouths like waiting in the even they talk safe now, so they fear to talk and come outside because you know say all the things when he be say they talk, you know say all of them na lie na in they talk. And then my people, after this our Lagos state governor do the interview for CNN, the Nigeria singer when he be said they call him Falz into still come for the interview, come still talk in own like my people. Falz like Falz in talk better thing when he be say una go like to hear like waiting in talk for the matter be say in talk say shebi na once na person dey die, once person don't die finish, you don't die. So person die today, die tomorrow, all die and die. Anyways, my people, I go drop the video below so that una go watch the video, and then make una no forget to comment on what you think about this video. Okay, my people. Anyways, my people, before I come out, make I introduce myself now. My name na Easy, and una welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for always coming back to support your girl. I appreciate you all, and then I don't take your love for granted at all. All right, so my people, make una watch the video.
2 dead bodies. That's what we've seen from all the morgues. That's what we've seen going to hospitals. That's what we've seen, you know, as records. What has happened is there's been so many footages that we're seeing that people have shown, but we've not seen bodies. We've not seen relatives. We've not seen anybody truly coming up to say, indeed, XYZ, I'm a father, I'm a mother to someone, and I cannot find that person. Nobody has turned up, right? I've been to the ground. There is no scratch of blood anywhere there.
Who ordered people to be shot, and which branch of security services carried out the shootings?
Well, I mean, from the footage that we could see, because there are cameras that are at that facility.
Everyone sit down.
It seems to me that there will be men in military uniform, which will be Nigerian army or something.
So you're saying that it was military officers who ordered peaceful protesters to be shot at Lekki?
Yeah, that's what the pictures, yes. They were there. That's what the footage, I mean, that's what it shows.
Will that CCTV footage at the toll gate be part of the investigation that you have now called for?
It will be. Certainly it will be. It will be. And they're starting on Monday. They're going to be available for the judicial panel to review. It will be.
Do you commit to a full investigation of what happened on the ground?
Absolutely, I do.
And will people be held accountable?
They certainly would. I mean, we'll do everything to ensure that they are held accountable. We'll do everything.
It's a very simple question. Will they be held accountable?
Well, I mean, to the extent that I'm not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, I mean, I'm the governor of the state, right? The report will be out. We will channel the report to all the relevant authorities in the state to ensure that everyone that is found culpable is accountable for the act.
2017, they've been announcing that the SARS unit has been disbanded. They announced in 2017, announced in 2018, announced in 2019. Now in 2020, they announced again. They just think we're stupid because you're literally just renaming this unit and expecting us to say, oh, yeah, wow, that's great.
The SARS, or Special Anti-Robbery Squad, has been described as nothing but a money-making terror squad with no accountability. Random. I've heard it described as vicious. I've heard it described as wholly set on extortion. This criticism will not be new to you, and in the past, the government has promised to scrap the group on a number of occasions. Why should anyone believe the government this time around?
The president made a pronouncement and says it's been disbanded. The Inspector General of Police made a pronouncement that it's been disbanded. Then the protesters, they went forward and said, we want 5 for 5, meaning we have 5 other things that we want government to do ASAP. Some, yes, we could deal with within days. Some will take fairly longer time, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months.
What about the disappeared over the years?
The what, ma'am?
The people who have disappeared at the hands of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad.
Yeah, so that's what it is. People have claimed that, I mean, their friends or their family members, you know, have been killed. So this judicial panel of inquiry is meant to bring, you know, all of those stories to accountability, you know, where we can make restitution, where the families can come and prove, you know, and identify the officers, you know, that are responsible for this.
Do you concede to the allegations that SARS is or was a money-making terror squad with no accountability?
Well, I mean, those are very strong words, you know, and I think it would be very unfair to just generalize, you know, everyone like that. I think everybody agrees that there's a reform that needs to take place. There's a change that needs to take place. There's some truth, you know, that need to come on board. So, I mean, I've been one of the advocates that says, indeed, they should, you know, be scrapped. Let us have genuine reforms. Let us have, you know, better, you know, conversation and around how we police our citizens, how we police the state, so that we can have a more enduring citizens-police relationship.
If you do not concede to the descriptions that I have seen and heard of the group, then how would you describe the Special Anti-Robbery Squad?
I think it's a group that have been trained. They've been illy motivated. They've not been fully, you know, equipped with, you know, a standard operating template, you know, for them to know and appreciate the level, you know, of their responsibility in our society. And that's why, you know, it seems that they just went off the cuff completely, probably also because they're not being well compensated, remunerated. Everybody that drives a flashy car, maybe they think, I mean, they can extort, you know, from them, very unfortunately, and it's very condemnable.
Is it international pressure that has persuaded you as the governor, the government, the president to finally speak out about what is going on and what protesters have been demonstrating for so long in Lagos and in Nigeria?
There are no international pressure whatsoever. You know, these are genuine protesters that we all believe, we all acknowledge. I was the only first governor, you know, amongst with due respect to all my other colleagues who all came out to meet with them. I was the first that led from the front. You know, I carried the NSAD flags, you know, with them. I met with them twice, you know, and we all had the rally together. We all walked together.
Do you genuinely believe that there will be change as a result of what has happened over the past couple of weeks? I mean, there seems no genuine...
I genuinely, Becky, I genuinely believe there will be change for 2 reasons. One, you know, what has happened, especially in Lagos, is extremely unimaginable. That's number one. Number two, it was a clear call, you know, for all of us in government, you know, especially, you know, understanding and realizing, you know, what the youth, what they truly want us to be doing, you know. So it hit all of us like a thunderbolt.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Christiana Manpour in London. The United States and the United Nations are strongly condemning the violence that's erupted in Nigeria. And these are some of the latest images, smoke billowing into the sky amid reports of a prison in Lagos being set ablaze. It comes after security forces opened fire at a peaceful demonstration against police brutality on Tuesday. Witnesses and Amnesty International say at least 12 demonstrators were killed in Lagos, which is Africa's most populous city. And across the country, Amnesty says a total of 38 have been killed on Tuesday alone. But the Lagos state governor denies there were any deaths. This brutality in one of Africa's biggest cities comes amid a global uprising for justice and equal rights. And powerful voices from Joe Biden to Beyonce have joined in denouncing this violence. Activist and renowned rapper Olu And Falz, better known by his stage name Falz, led one of the first protests 2 weeks ago, and he's been taking part ever since. And he's joining me now from Lagos. Falz, welcome to the program. We're coming to you because you've obviously got, the pulse of the people. You've got 7 million Instagram followers, and you have been organizing some of these protests and joining in. Can you tell me how this all started? What turned this city into violence?
Wow, it's really crazy for everyone out here. It's a horrible time. And if this was yesterday, I probably wouldn't have been able to take this call because I was extremely distraught. It was a horrible incident. But it started probably about 2 weeks ago, roughly about 2 weeks ago, on the 8th of October. Myself and another artist named Runtown, we had shared on our Twitter and Instagram pages that we were going to do a walk, just a march, a peaceful protest against all forms of police brutality, all forms of police misconduct in general. And we did that with the hashtag #EndSARS. The hashtag was already in existence. This is something that was already a big thing on social media, but no one had actually gone ahead to do a physical protest. So we decided to take that extra step. So we went out on the 8th, I think it was a Tuesday. We went out and probably were expecting maybe around about 50, 100 people, but probably got around about 2,000 people or so that came out on that very day. And it was huge. We did a march to a police station, which has some high-ranking officers here in Lagos. And we handed in a petition just saying that the youth as a group were very, very unhappy with, the way things were going. And we were really furious about police brutality, police harassment, police extortion, and enough is enough. Basically, everyone was standing up. Everyone was lending their voice to this particular cause. So from that day up until now, back to back, it's been a different state in the country, because there's 36 states in total. Right. But apart from that very one on that day, we didn't even have to call for people to come out in other states. Everyone just trooped out, on their own. It's been crazy. It's been really crazy.
Falz?
Yeah.
Let me just interrupt you a bit, because I just want to ask you so that our viewers are clear. #EndSARS is the hashtag, and it's the movement. SARS, for everybody to understand, is a special police unit, right? It's the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. What is it about them? And apparently they're not in uniform, they're plain clothes, and for years you have been protesting against them. What is it that you're actually protesting? What do they do?
It's all forms of violence. It's all forms of brutality, and the offenses that they're supposed to be protecting us against is pretty much the offenses they end up committing. The SARS stands for State Anti-Robbery Squad, but they're committing the armed robbery, because we hear about numerous cases where they stop young people just because you look fresh, just because you look young and you look like you're making a lot of money. They'll stop you, they'll harass you, they'll go through your phone, and sometimes they search for messages from your bank, for example, so they could see your bank account balance. And when they do that, they drive you to an ATM, get you to withdraw money, and before they let you go, if they can't get money off you, they lock you up. We hear about several cases where they locked people up and those people disappeared because they were eventually killed. So it's really crazy. If you're not as lucky when you encounter them, they could shoot you on the spot. It's all forms of violence. They beat people up. They torture people. They murder. They commit armed robbery. It's everything. It's everything. And there have been so many cases.
Let me just ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, because you're right. This has been going on since about 2017. Now, as you know, the state governor in Lagos has denied that there were any deaths, although despite video, despite Amnesty International and eyewitnesses, the Nigerian military, or at least a wing of it, the army has said is fake news, and they don't believe it. But here's what your president has said, because to an extent he says that he's heard you, and these forces should have been off the street, he says. Can we just play a little bit from his speech?
The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives.
Falz, what do you make of that, and how much stock do you put in the pledges for police reform?
It's infuriating, it's annoying, it's frustrating. And I think that's exactly how everyone's feeling, because they've been reforming the police for the longest time, but we've never actually seen actual action. And they said, I was about to say, since 2017, they've been announcing that the SARS unit has been disbanded. They announced in 2017, announced in 2018, announced in 2019, now in 2020. After we started these protests, they announced again, and in the same breath, announced that they were replacing that unit with a new unit called the Special Weapons and Tactics Unit. And it's just, they just think we're stupid, because you're literally just renaming this unit and expecting us to say, oh yeah, wow, that's great.
Can I ask you something?
It's insensitive.
I want to ask you what you're demanding, but first I want to ask you, because you alluded to, the stressful situation and the lack of safety. There are a lot of young people who we've reached out to, a lot of people who are very upset and very, like you, but didn't want to appear on camera because they're afraid for their lives. Are you afraid for your own safety?
I'm not afraid for my life. I'm not afraid for my life, because where we are right now, I feel like I could easily die by anything else anyway. There's a sheer, man, I don't even know where to start from. We have non-existent healthcare, for example. We have a seriously high level of poverty. There's unemployment. We're in a critical state because of how much corruption and just mismanagement of funds that we continue to see on a daily basis. So if I don't come out to sort of complain about the state of things, I could sit down and I could have an accident on my way to work or something, and I could die as a result of that, because the state of the healthcare is nothing to write home about. We don't even have proper hospitals. Our hospitals aren't well equipped. People have to travel abroad to get proper healthcare, and every Nigerian, and we keep on saying this, every single Nigerian is one sickness away from passing away. So what kind of life am I living anyway? Like, why should I be afraid of dying? I'm gonna die anyway, so what's the point?